that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
So my name is Elaine Forney, and I'm actually living in North Kingstown, Rhode Island right now. Well, I'm actually retired, so what I do for a living is I'm a trader. That's what I'm doing now for a living.
My name is David, and I'm from Richmond, Virginia. I'm retired. Right now I was in aerospace with Boeing.
My name is Richard Serrano, and I'm from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. I'm a network field engineer, and I do telecommunications.
My name is Phil Scheib, and I am from Alaska. I am retired locomotive engineer.
My name is Leanne Jack, and I grew up in Appleton, Wisconsin. So I'm a web designer and a front-end developer.
My name is George Brooks. I am originally from New Jersey. Been in IT for the last 33 years. And in between that, still cutting down trees, climbing trees, and all that other stuff in between.
My name is Terrell Lee. I'm from Mobile, Alabama. I work at a small used car lot just to get out of the house.
I discovered this whole community of traders in the trade room, which, you know, I was sitting in front of my computer at home all by myself, and now all of a sudden here is this community out there, which I found very generous. Everybody was so supportive and welcoming. It just really blew me away.
What makes us so different than other schools is that we're just not your typical school that's just going to teach you how to trade. We're going to go out there and be part of a family, be part of a team. We're looking for traders that we could trade together.
My name is Josh Levitin. I'm from Bethpage, New York, and I'm the senior instructor here at Cybertrading University. What makes our on-site class so great, aside from the networking aspect of it all, just having our students meet each other for the first time, is the fact that myself and Fausto are very hands-on with our students in the sense of just being able to literally overlook their shoulder and watch their trade, what they're focused on from their platform.
Some news came out and the thing just popped.
While I can comment on what they should focus on online, they might not be able to understand that as well compared to having us right there in front of them.
I kind of like the idea of not being in front of a computer 8 hours a day, because I can't do that. So I kind of like the idea of doing it in the morning and then going to do all the other stuff I need to do.
Everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner. Yeah, it's like it's not worth it.
When I spoke to Fausto on the phone and he interviewed me, the thing he said the hardest thing for me to do would be to unlearn the things that I previously learned. And it turns out that's 100% true. And the stuff that I'm learning from him and from Josh and everybody has really made all the difference in the world in understanding what a day trader is and how it actually works.
Fausto and the staff at CTU University, they're really on top of everything. They give you good trade choices, and they keep you alert onto whatever's happening in the market at the time for the day.
Right, so we made a profit. What did I just say earlier? Just take the money and run, because guess what? If you didn't take it, how would you be doing right now? Now you're losing money. You're just trying to make that day's pay. That's all you're looking to do. You got it, you made it. Listen, for every stock that kept on going, for everyone that you thought was going to do that, you're going to have 9 losses versus 1 winner.
I don't think you're going to find a better support team in the stock trading business anywhere. That's why I'm here at the platinum level.
You know, a lot of people want to go out there and trade and don't know if it's for them or not. And guess what? That's okay, because it's not. And the thing you have to look at is you have to find a mentor, you have to find a school, you have to sample a couple of things with a couple of schools out there, do a couple of classes, and you make the choice. But don't make the biggest mistake that people make. Go out there and be part of 90%, maybe even higher, of the failure rate in today's industry, because people want to try it before they learn. I mean, would you ever want someone to work on your loved ones that never went to med school? Or how about just giving them finance money to some financial planner? You need a mentor to show you how to do it. And that's what you're going to get here at CyberTrading University.
All right, everybody. My name is Fausto from CyberTrading University. Let me just get a little chat back if you could hear me loud and clear. Just want to share my screen here for a second. Give me a second here. Hold on. Just get my PowerPoint. All right, there we go. Get the video cam up and running. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. And let me just read the chat here. Make sure we can see everything loud and clear. All right, good to see you. There we go. All right, good. Well, welcome everyone to CyberTrading University. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that last video that we just showed you. Those are some students that have been here over the years. And you're going to get the opportunity to meet a lot of them in our trading room, because at the end of this presentation, I'm going to invite every single one of you to come to the original trading room and why we've been in business for over 25 years and one of the most successful educational schools in the industry, and endorsed by more brokerage firms than any school in the industry, because you're going to see why. You're going to see how successful people are, but most importantly, how they think for themselves, because that's what you want. It's not us telling you what to buy and sell. It's about you figure it out on your own. Now, what I'm going to look to plan on doing today is, I don't know about you, but I am ecstatic that we only last 2 days away from ending 2020. I know a lot of people are just kind of like, my God, between COVID, the fires in California, politics. I mean, I can go on and on and on. It just never ends. This has to be the most craziest year ever. Being confined to your house, the restaurants closed. I mean, it's just endless. But I'm really looking forward. It will get worse next year. Oh, don't even say that. Well, you know what? Let me just tell you this. A fellow mentor, a fellow trader of a school of ours, we had him on the on one of our cyber expos, and he made a great compliment. He goes, here, people always want to forget about 2020. He goes, you know what? Give me 2020 again, because I would love to trade the market going down 18,000 and jumping back to 32 again, 30,000. So listen, as a traders, you kind of want this type of chaos, because this is what makes things a little bit easier for you. But I'm going to show you why you're all here. You're here for the one reason and one reason only, and that is to make money. But to do that, you got to make sure trading is for you. So with that said, what we're going to be learning is I'm going to talk about what is day trading. How can we make a living to be a day trader? Why people fail. That's one of the biggest things I think that we kind of preach. It's not about the winners. It's about the losers that people make those mistakes. I'm going to show you how we find these stocks. If you're following us on YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And the most important thing, the staple of CyberTrading University, we're going to talk a little bit about level 3 and also level 4, which some people think like, what the hell is that? I heard about it, never seen it, everything. Now, really briefly, just to tell you a little bit about CyberTrading University, I've been doing this for over 25 years. I was 22 years old when I started. I was semi-retired back then, and I'll tell you why. Because before I was a successful trader, I was actually a very successful loser. I lost a lot of money in trading, and I'll tell you what the reason for that. I was probably like 90% of people today, self-taught. I don't need to learn, or I don't need to work for somebody. What do I need to do that? How hard could it possibly be? Well, it was pretty damn stupid in my part. And you know what? I deserved everything I deserved. Losing all that money is because what I've learned is that who am I to know what's going on at the market? You want to be a good trader. There's only one way to do it. It's not about just having a mentor. You have to surround yourself with a team. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to recruit traders that could be part of my team, that I could train, that I can make money with. And that's what I'm going to invite every single one of you at the end of this presentation. That is the real reason why I teach. Okay. Now, obviously, there's people here trying to make money on education and subscriptions and all that. And you probably heard, not here to bash any other schools, but you can go back, not just the latest one, but they're there all the time. And you know what? The bottom line is this. If you want to be successful, you have to be part of, of a team, part of a company. You have to be able to be engaged and be able to give content. That's how you succeed. You can't succeed like watching 800 hours of videos and no one's there to answer the phone from you. And then here you are getting stuck paying a subscription fee that you can't get out of it. That's what Cyber Training University does. What Cyber Training University does is I'm looking to train people like you that have a goal, that want to be successful at it, so we can make money together. That's the glory about it. That's the real reason why I teach. Now, you could see from this photograph that these people are just like you, okay? Car salesmen, engineers, real estate brokers, grandmas, grandpas. I mean, people work in oil fields, people that worked at Rolls Royce, you know, I mean, these are some of the really savvy people that realize that, you know what, we can make money together. It's got to find the right person. Hopefully this is where it's going to end, right here. So I have a question for all of you before we get started. And I'm going to do a quick poll really quick here, because I know a lot of people don't like to chat. All right. Could you just tell me, what kind of trader are you? Are you a stock trader, an options trader, a futures trader, Forex? Just want to see what kind of audience we have here today. All right, just got a couple more seconds here. All right, I'm going to share the polls so everybody knows where they stand. All right, so it looks like we have a lot of options traders here. Now, listen, I've done options, you know, I've done swing trading. I preferably like to day trade because, believe it or not, it's the least risky, because you're not holding positions overnight. You just focus on the day's pay, and you just make your day's pay in a stock. That's it. I mean, I'll point out some stocks that we were trading in our trading room. Let me just bring this up over here. Here, Bingo, for example. Look at this stock, which we mentioned earlier. Look what happened at 9 o'clock this morning. It ran from $1.70 all the way up to about $3. Okay. And you had literally 2 hours to do that. Oh, you want to be a swing trader? Well, how about this? This stock started, oops, darn it. I hate when I do that. Hold on, let me bring this back up. Give me a second here. Where am I? I have too many screens and I lose my screens. There we go. All right. I hit the X button. Here we go. So here's Bingo. And you can see the stock literally went from 50 cents, 75, $1.80 to about $3. Okay. And don't worry, there's a lot more out there that did pretty well. Here's another one, just got halted. Ran from $1 to about $4. Here's another pretty cool one that's doing pretty well. Neat. This one right here, gapped up right at the open, ran from $11 to about $16. So there's a lot of stocks out there that are moving in the market. And these are things that you have to learn as a trader. You know, I mean, here's another one that moved pretty nicely early. You know, some people are shy about, you know, trading inexpensive stocks. FCX ran from 9:30 this morning. You're done around 10 o'clock. It ran to about $26.75. You know, you make $2. Forget about making $2. If you just made 50 cents on 1,000 shares, $500, $100,000 your salary. Who doesn't want that? Well, guess what? Your question you're probably asking, how did you know that? How did you find it? Why did it stop? Why is it going down? That's what I'm going to show you. Okay. Now, what you're about to learn today, ladies and gentlemen, if this is the first time you've been here, you're going to see some very disturbing things. And the reason for that is because you're going to look at it and be like, how did I not know that? Like, or why is nobody teach that? And I'll tell you why. I live here in New York. Like I said earlier, I was trained by the best traders in the world. And the reason how I became very successful as a trader is because I actually took a job and became a trader for a company. So I used to do prop trading. I am one of the original SOS bandits that you might read in today's books. Okay. When I started, it was about 1,000 of us. Now there's over, you know, I think they said hundreds of thousands of us. So that is the beauty about what you're about to learn. And like I said, the only thing that's changed 25 years ago to today is that back then I used to pay $20 to $25 a ticket, where today you're getting them for free. Now imagine when I used to buy a stock, I was already down $50. People can't even make money on a free ticket. Imagine trying to make money being down $50 on a ticket. But the thing is, you have to learn how to play the game when it comes to trading. So what is day trading? Let's just talk about that, okay? Basically, it's putting, going out there and strictly trading momentum. You're not holding positions overnight. You're basically just focusing on a day's pay. You see, I don't care what I trade. I don't want to know what I trade. I don't need to know what I trade, because by the time I realize it, it could be too late. Now, for some of you out there, you're like, oh, I can't afford that. Let me trade Tesla. Let me trade Apple. But I can't afford Apple. Let me trade the options. Listen, you could make money trading options, which we had a lot of them. But let me tell you something. Options is about 10 times harder than just to trade the stock. Trading a stock is black and white. It's not green, purple, red, orange, blue, all these different colors. There's so many ways of trading options. And also there's so many ways of trading with indicators. I don't use indicators. I don't need to, because I don't like to be a lagger. I want to be a leader. And the way you become a leader is following the money, which is what you're going to learn in level 3 and level 4. So let's talk about Bitcoin really quick. Okay. So this is the big news right now. We've been talking about Bitcoin for about a couple of weeks now, maybe over a month now, because what's happening, not only is Bitcoin doing pretty well, but there are stocks out there that are trading side by side with Bitcoin. Stocks like Riot, stocks like Mara, blockchain. So some people are like, well, I can't afford Bitcoin, even though whatever. I'm not here to talk about Bitcoin. I don't trade Bitcoin. The only thing I trade is the stocks. So Mara stock, you could see here, November 9th. Look where it is. It went up. It went all the way up to about $14. Okay. Stock, huge run up. Why? Because of Bitcoin. Riot, stock was $3 back in November. Where to go today? Almost hit $18. Okay. So you don't have to trade a specific stock to miss the boat where you could trade the industry. If it's solar stocks, if it's electrical stocks, if it's electric cars, for example, like Tesla, listen, you could have traded F-Cell. There's a lot of them out there. But you just got to know where to look, and you have to surround yourself with people that are doing the same exact thing. So how do we find these stocks? I guess that's what's the big thing. Okay, well, and CJ just said, how do we know which ones to trade? And that's where we're going to get to. Now, the big thing is this. Here at Cyber Trading University, we teach our students 3 letters: tradable, trend, and trap. It's those 3 T's. The first T is the most expensive one, which is what you just asked, CJ. So basically, it's how to find the stocks, because you could buy anything, but the only difference, some stocks are more riskier than others. Once again, like I said earlier, what we train here at Cyber Trading University is not how to make money, is teaching you how to stop losing it. Once you learn how to stop losing money, the winners take care of themselves. So the number one place that we do and we look is in our scanner. Everyone gets a scanner. Every brokerage firm offers a scanner. So listen, there's a lot of stocks that are moving today. All right. But the question is, which one is going to give us the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward? Because if your goal is, let's just say, I want to make $100,000 a year. To make $100,000 a year, you have to average about $500 a day. To make $500 a day, you have to make 50 cents on 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares is usually the sweet spot for us traders. 2 trades at 25 cents. I mean, you really don't have you don't have to kill it like some other people tell you. You just got to be consistent. Hit base hits. So going through this list, you have to go through the first T. And the first T is tradable. Does it got a good spread? Does it have a lot of buyers and sellers out there? Does it have good volume? All these little things that we teach you at Cyber Trading University to show you how to scan which one out there is going to give you the least amount of risk with the high amount of reward. Remember, you're in the trading business. And being in a trading business, you just don't want to trade something just to trade it. You're trading it to be smart. not because you have to. Okay. So that's the whole idea. And by the way, every single one of you that come and join me in my trading room after today's event, I'm going to show you how we scan every single morning and during the market hours. So that is going to be one of the benefits. So right now, I'm just going to just tell you point blank, where do we find them? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't go out there and I'm an analyst. I'm not going to, we don't tell anybody what to buy and sell, but I will show you where to look and how we figure that out. And you'll learn that in our trading room. Now, history, it tends of repeating itself. Okay. That's the big thing about stocks. And you could see how Riot and everything else moved up. But the question is, how did day traders become very successful? Well, a couple of things. You obviously got to have the right tools. I can't tell you how many people out there trade in today's market and just literally are just cheap. They think they could do it, from the luxury of a laptop. Okay. They think they could buy some 1995 training course or just sit there and watch YouTube. It doesn't work that way. If you're somebody here that's looking for free stuff, you're in the wrong room. You really, listen, I'm not here to give away a free laptop. I'm not here to give away a free car. Okay. Like some other people. Go out, buy your own car. You know what? How much do you appreciate and to say, you know what? I bought that car cash. You think I want to go around and say, oh, wow, where'd you get that Porsche from? Oh, I won it. Oh, really? Oh, good for you. Congratulations. What do you sound more proud of? You won it or you bought it? You understand? And those are the people we don't want to train. Those are the people actually you want to compete against, because those people think always looking for entitlement. And that's okay. There's a market for that. That's not the type of trader I'm looking for. I'm looking for hardworking, honest, serious traders. And how do we do that? You first have to buy into that nothing is free, and you got to have the right tools to do it. For example, having the right brokerage account. You can't do this on Robinhood. Are you kidding me? Robinhood? Seriously? Who trades on Robinhood? People that have no money. Okay? Not that you can't make money doing it, but you're not getting the right tools of what you need in trading. You're not having the right execution system, because what does it cost to trade on a stock company like Robinhood? Nothing. It's free. That's all it's worth. How do you like going out there and finding out that there's something free out there? Yeah, guess what? Let's talk about, I don't want to get political, but everybody's getting a stimulus check all of a sudden, right? Where did that money come from? Everybody's getting free money to help them survive, help work out with COVID. That's great. But where are they getting the money from? Who's paying for it? Oh, our kids. Okay, great. So we just didn't print money and say, oh, here's free money. It's coming from somewhere. And I know everybody here understands that. Now, obviously, due to circumstances, a different story. But just keep in mind, nothing is free coming into trading. Most importantly, going out there and not having the right tools, not trading with the right team, not knowing where to look, not knowing how to trade in pre-market, not to know what to look at aftermarket. These are the things why people fail in trading. To be successful, this right here is what we call our 10 commandments of how do you become a successful trader, within 30 days. Now, I'm not completely sold on like the 30-day rule, okay? But I want to point something out to you. A lot of you here said you're trading options, futures, and Forex. So let me give you a little advice. Did you ever go to work? Anyone have a job? We all had jobs before. Imagine working somewhere and you're there and you just don't like it. You think it's going to take you more than 30 days or 60 days to realize that you're not a good fit? How about being an owner? And you hire an employee like, oh, I'm so psyched. I finally found an employee to work. And we all know how hard it is to find quality people. And it's not that they're bad people. It's that they're a good fit. Do you really think it's going to take 2 to 3 months to realize if the person's a right fit? You might even learn within 24 hours. So my point that I'm getting to is this. If you're not making money or even just seeing progress within 30 to 60 days, you're pretty much wasting your time. So, like I said, you might like the industry, which is the trading industry, but maybe that market, Forex, futures, options, if it's not working, if you don't get it, it's time to change. So if anybody tells you it takes you about 6 months before you start learning, they're pulling your chain. Okay. It doesn't take that long to learn it. You get it or you don't. And I always use the theory about, are you going to trust hiring an employee for 6 months and make that investment, finding out 6 months later he really wasn't? You're smarter than that. You know if the person gets it or not. So it doesn't take you that long to realize. So why do most people fail? Well, because a couple of things. First of all, they start mixing swing trading with day trading. They read too many books. They watch too many videos. They look for free stuff, everything. And now listen, I'm here to put the fear in God in people, because trading, I've seen it destroy people's lives. Okay. And I've seen people get just very, very upset, but we want it to work. We really want trading to make it successful. But to do it, to be successful, you first have to find the right team, the right mentor, the right company. Company's got a good reputation. And also, you know, you got to be patient. But it doesn't take too long to learn it. But the thing is, as you could see here with our other 10 commandments that we have, why most people fail, you know, you got to have the right education. And by the way, just keep everyone in mind, you're going to have to spend some money when it comes to education, because nobody works for free. You know, people always ask, would you make more money in training or you make money in trading? You know, teaching or making money? To me, honestly, I make more money in trading, but my staff does not work for free. Okay. Here in New York, we just passed the law, $15 an hour. Okay. You just jumping on a phone call, I'm already down money on that, you know? So please keep in mind, no one works for free, and you don't want anybody to work for free. I mean, do you really think you're going to get a value having somebody do that? So be very careful what you see out there, because those are the people that lose a lot of money in trading. But you don't have to spend a lot of money to do it. Okay. That's the point. Now, what is cyber trading strategy? Let's get right into the training part of it. All right. So if you can't beat them, join them. You know, you always hear, and I'm going to bring a little politics into this, right? So you always hear people say, we got to go after the pharmaceutical companies. They make so much money, right? And guess what? We hate them, right? Because they keep telling us that. We got to go after the guys on Wall Street because they make too much money, you know? So they know where the money is, right? Now, obviously, I don't think anyone's going to jump and say, wow, they make that much money, pharmaceutical companies? Let me go work for them. You know what? Unless you go to school and learn how to do it, it's one thing. But you know what's the easiest market to get into? Trading a stock market. Okay. So why hate what they do? Just join them. Why do they make so much money? You understand? Like, you ever see the other side of the story? Now, we're very smart people here. So you got to realize that when you're into the industry, you can't just go out there and bash these people. Why do they make a lot of money? And you know what? Why can't I not do the same? So you sit there and join them. How do you join them? By following the brokerage firms, follow the institutions, and follow the insiders. Now, how do I know this? Because I was trained how to do it. I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. All right. So, question for everyone here. I'm going to do a quick poll. And my poll question is this. Does anybody here have level 3 quotes? You probably heard of level 1, level 2, but everyone here have level 3. Now, if you're a student here at CyberTrading University, please don't answer the question. Okay. I just want to be able to see, we have a lot of new people here today. I want to let them know how they are compared to everyone else. All right. Like I said, yes, no, or I'm not sure. All right. So I don't want to waste any time. It should be a quick question. You know, you don't know. All right. So I'm going to share these results. Now, look at the results. Only less than 10% of you do have it. Look how many of you here don't. Now, I have a question for everyone. Please put this in the chat room because I want to see what your thoughts on this is. If I was able to tell you right now how you could shadow or follow 70% of the volume that is going on in the stock that you're trading, what is that worth to you? That if you could see where 70% of the orders, what is that worth to you? What could that be of value to you? Okay, Mark said priceless. John says, I never even know that existed. Okay. Anybody else? Ruben said priceless too. Another priceless from Vanish. Okay. CJ, what the hell is level 3? It's worth thousands. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about total view. Now, at the end of today's presentation, we're going to be done in about less than 30 minutes. I'm going to play a video and I'll show it to you really quick. All right. Give me a second here. Just go to. All right. So here at CyberTrading University, we're going to play a quick video where I'm going to get all of you guys registered today after, and you can watch this video, that NASDAQ, the exchange themselves, watched me do a presentation at one of these conferences, and they said, Fausto, please come to the NASDAQ Center. We want you to do a presentation. So before COVID hit, I was a regular guest there, educating people on something that they want you to learn, which is called total view. So let me show you what it is. And then you're going to see how things come into why you've been trading blind all this time. Now, total view is also known as ECN, an electronic communication network. Now, I was actually one of the beta testers who helped build an ECN back in the early 90s. I'm not here to teach you the history on it, but basically what it is, it allows you to become a market maker. That's basically what it is, okay? So you could actually go out there and compete and become a market maker. You could place bids and offers out there just like a market maker. And I'm going to show every one of you, when you come in my trading room, you're going to see this live, okay? Because we practice what we preach. So think about it. You're going to see every single order around the entire world of every trade that's going off on the NASDAQ market, you know, on the ECN that NASDAQ owns. So think about this for a second. You're out there trading and you're sitting there looking at some indicators. You are now going to see the raw data having a seat on the exchange to know exactly what's out there. Think about that for a second. I'll give you an example. Let's look at this stock right here. Let me get my pointer for a second. I don't know what happened to my animation. There we go. Okay, so you follow my pointer. We're looking at a stock symbol PLTR. And at 9:30, the stock went from $28 and dropped like a tank to $24.50. Complete disaster. But for some reason, out of curiosity, stock goes from 24, goes right back up to 27 at 10:30. Now, is that a magical number, 10:30? Is that a specific time, or was it the color of the candlestick, whatever it is? Listen, at the end of the day, there's only one reason why that stock dropped and stopped at $24.50. It's because right here on the right, at $24.50, there was a 58,000 share buyer that made up not one, not two, but 21 different orders around the world that equaled 58,000 shares out there. Now, is that a lot? Is it a little? Well, you know what? When you got buyers out there at $24.45 looking to only buy 400 shares, a guy want to buy 100 shares at $24.50, and you're working your way down the list, 200, 500, 3,000, maybe it's a lot more maybe you would probably spend. But when you're talking 58,000 at one number, what do you think is going to happen? Oh, that's right. Support levels. Let me explain something to you here at CyberTrading University. And you might think we're crazy, but we don't teach support and resistance levels. Support and resistance levels are made for laggers. Okay. What we teach at CyberTrading University is we teach you supply and demand. You see, what makes a support level is buyers. How do you really know that that's a support level? I mean, how do you really know? Like, think about it. How do you really know it's a support level? Oh, because Mr. Fibonacci said so? Oh, because the 10 candlesticks, green candlesticks told you so? Oh, yeah, maybe you're right, but that's the past. Support levels get broken all the time. But what doesn't is that 58,000 share buyer. You're telling me you're going to question that buyer? Well, guess what? If you thought it was a short, you lost. If you bought at 28 and says, you know what, I can't deal with it anymore, I got to get out because I can't afford to take a loss, or my order is going to get executed, I have a stop order loss, guess what? You made a bad trade just by watching that one guy. Now, ask equals resistance. So here we have another stock, Workhorse. Stock goes from at 9:30 this morning, goes from $18.50 all the way up to $24. What a huge winner, right? What, within 3 hours? Yeah. You want to go trade a $600 stock in Tesla? I'd rather trade an $18 stock in Workhorse. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm just here to make money, okay? And so are you. But look at this great move. It went all the way up there, but for some reason, it stopped at 24. Why would it stop at 24? Why not 22? Why not 20? Why not 23.75? Why 24? Well, there's only one reason to explain it. When you go on the NASDAQ book viewer and you look at it and you work your way down that list, 900, 200, 54,000 shares. Is this live, Randy? Ray, yes, it is. We're not like those other people that do those evergreens, okay? All right. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer it. You're more than welcome. All right. So resistance at 24. And guess what? If you didn't have a game plan at 24, look what ends up happening. The stock not only did drop from 24 to 22, but then it took a huge dive all the way down to 2050. Wouldn't that stink? If that happened to you, like, oh my God, why didn't I sell it? Why did I get greedy? And like, oh, maybe it'll come back. And all of a sudden, the thing tanks on you. Happens all the time. Why not? But you know why? You got to ask yourself a question. Who really trained you? And what are you actually looking at? Just think about this for a second. We are looking at two windows, not 1,000, like some other people try to tell you. You got to look at this. You got to look at that. You need this. You need that. We're looking at two windows. And the two windows that you're looking at, you probably don't even have on your platform because you may be trading with the wrong one. Like I told you, we're getting a lot more people logging in here. The reason why I know this is because this is how, if you wanted to work for a brokerage firm, if you want to become a market maker like I did, this is what you had to use. Not some fancy, speaker or fancy software. You got to have the right data. All right. Is everybody ready to have some fun? By the way, is anybody confused yet? I mean, here I'm talking away and I'm confused. Why can't we have level 2 and 4 with Forex? Urban, because I don't trade Forex. Okay. Listen, Urban, if you're not making money with Forex, like I told you in 30, 60 days, you're probably wasting your time. Okay. But to me, it's all about control. So I'm going to do a quick poll here. And I'm going to do a quick poll here. And I want you to guys tell me, launch this poll. Okay. Tell me, is this stock going up or going down? Let's hear you guys answer this question. Abadel, you need less than 1 day to know if this is for you or not. And I'm going to give you that opportunity when we're done. Okay. So everyone just look at this question and honestly, could you be serious? Be very serious. Don't be cute. Don't be funny. Just, you got money on the line. All right. If you saw a stock like this, what's the first thing that you think it's doing? Is it going up or going down? Okay, that was pretty quick. Okay, we got a lot of good answers. I'm going to end the poll. I'm going to share the results. All right, so right away, I don't know if you're being funny or cute, but we got 5 people here. 7% of you said it was going up. So I'm just going to give everybody those people an advice. You should quit trading. I don't know what made you think in your mind that this is going up. Okay. Unless you got some crystal ball there, the stock is going down. All right. And just don't mind me being very brash, but I'm just being very straightforward and being honest. You're wasting your time. If you really thought the stock was going up, you should quit trading right now. Okay. Now, for the ones that said it was going down, congratulations. You just passed kindergarten. Okay. Now, the next question is this. What do we need for this stock to go up? What is going to make this stock go higher? What do we need? So just be happy to put in a chat room. I'm going to see what you guys come up with. What do we need for the stock to go up? Oh, what a coincidence. Buyers. Look at that. Could everyone, we need buyer. We need buyers. Now, do you see buyers on a chart? No. Do you see buyers on TV? No. Do you see buyers on YouTube? Do you see a buyer in a book? No. How are you going to find the buyers? What do we need to find the buyers? Can everyone tell me? What do we need? We need to see the orders, right? We need total view. Okay, no problem. Let's just change the slide here. So we're looking at total view, and you'll notice we're looking at the buy column because that's what we're looking for. And you'll notice that right here at $9, there's 102,000 shares looking to be bought. There's 259 orders out there around the world trading on NASDAQ. You really think I'm going to want to short a stock when I'm now going to start coming to that next biggest buyer? Come on, give me a break. That's common sense. Listen, if you could add, you could trade. And that is a pretty big, substantial number. Even my 11-year-old knew that. So he'll look at this and just like you, and be like, yeah, Dad, there's a lot of money over there. So it might stop there. And guess what? Congratulations. You just passed the second grade. Okay. Because you're absolutely correct. That is a number I would be focused on. And guess what? Looking at the chart, it did exactly what it's supposed to do. It hit that $9 and went from $9 back up to $10 and within 30 minutes. And if you bought 1,000 shares of that stock and you had that game plan, guess what? 1,000 shares, $1, $1,000, $250,000 salary. Thank you very much. Even if you made half that, $500, $100,000 salary. Does that seem difficult? Did I lose anybody yet? Steve has a question. How do you know these are legit orders? I'll tell you how you know they're legit. Okay. Steve, this is what we're going to do. You're going to come in my trading room. I'm going to find a 100,000 share order out there. We'll use your money and we'll go out there and we'll see, and we'll sell the 100,000 shares to that guy at $9. And you tell me how fake it is, because if it's fake, guess what? You won't get executed. Okay. You want to take that bet? I didn't think so. And then the next question is, what time delay of data? There is no delay. This is real time. You see, the questions that you're coming up with, Steve, I love those questions because that is, you have to ask yourself, and I have a question for you, Steve, is this, because this goes for everyone in the room. Who really trained you, Steve? Steve Marks, I'm talking about specifically. Who trained, just be honest. Who really trained you? Just waiting for his answer. Okay. Well, I'm not going to bring up names in the room, okay? But that should basically answer your question, because where they are today, they're being investigated by the FTC, all right? So, resistance levels. Let's go right to the orders without looking at a chart, without looking at anything else. Could you guys tell me, where do you think, in theory, resistance levels will be in Uber? Looking at NASDAQ total view. Where do you think? See how you guys come up with this number. you just really quick, resistance is the sellers, right? So the sellers are right here. Just work your way down that list and you tell me where you find the biggest order. Well, guess what? If you said between 5140 and 5150, congratulations, you're absolutely correct. See, was that hard? I mean, who do you think is going to make more resistance? The seller over here at 100 shares at 5127, or the guy here at 5140? You know what I mean? Like, duh. I mean, it's common sense. It's a lot of money right there. Talking about $10 million worth of stock. Oh, by the way, there's 28 people out there. This one's got 41 different orders out there. All right. So looking at this chart, the same chart, most people look at this and said, oh, the stock is trending up. It's got, you know, a double top. It's due for a breakout. It's at the highs of the day. You know, listen, you could come up with any situation you want. At the end of the day, the problem with a chart, it's a lagger. It's not a leader. Okay. So by looking at this, you might think it's going up. But from 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock, it didn't go anywhere. It just stayed there. You ever trade a stock? I'm like, I don't understand. Why is it not breaking? Keeps hitting that resistance. It looks great. It's got, look at that. It's got a bull flag. It's got, I mean, it's beautiful. Why is it not going higher? Well, did you not know that there's literally 300,000 shares sitting there on the offer? I mean, like, why? That's the reason why it's not going up. Someone's got to execute that guy. Two things have to happen. Somebody has to buy it from him, or he's got to change his mind. That's basically what you got. All right. But for me, you think I want to second guess those people? I don't think so. Okay. So the thing is this. If you want to trade like the professionals, you got to have the professional tools. Okay. You got to have the same thing that they're using. And it's not that much. Let me tell you something really quick. When I started 25 years ago, for me to get something called Instinet, that was one of the tools that we used to use, very similar like an ECN, so we had the institutions trade. We had to pay over $1,000 a month for that data. Now think about it, 22-year-old kid coming in here, you know, and $1,000 a month. I'm like, that's crazy, $1,000 a month. I mean, I don't have that money, but you know what? But this is where it comes down to it. My trading firm said, listen, if I'm teaching you how to make $250,000 and it's costing you $12,000 to be part of it, is there a problem there? I'm like, no. If it pays for itself, is that a problem? No. Then guess what? You got a job. But there are people like, I don't know, maybe, you know, ticket charges, this. You know what? You're fired. That's okay. It's not for you. All right. So that's how you separate yourself from the amateurs and the professionals. Now, does TotalView cost $1,000 a month? No. You know what? You can go right through NASDAQ and you could buy for $15 a month. Think about it. Does that sound like a lot of money? $15 to go to NASDAQ to get that data? Think how much smarter and better trading decisions you would have by having that data. So if you're somebody here like, yeah, but my brokerage firm, I give it for free. I get it for free. You know what? If you're that person, I'm going to do you a favor. Don't trade. Please. You're going to just blow up your account. You think $15 is a lot of money? You're wasting your time. You're really wasting your time. I just showed you with 70% of volume. And believe me, I didn't even show you level 4 for crying out loud. When you come in my trading room and I show you level 4, you're going to really fall off your socks. You'll be like, how does anybody not have this technology? You know, like, why would you not? You know what? I can't talk for them other than who trained them. So next question we're going to go through is, when I buy a stock, where does my order go? Because what happens is a lot of us here neglect using something called time and sales. Now, I am actually what's called a tape reader. Okay, a tape reader, what we do is we look at the time and sales and we use it to analyze where the orders are taking place on the bid or the ask. Now, how we have them segregated in 2 colors. Green means if anybody gets executed on the offer, it'll come up green in time and sales. If anybody gets executed on the bid, they'll come up in red. Now, a lot of people neglect using this because they said it moves too fast and they don't really understand. And I get it. And I'll tell you why. Two reasons. Number one, you're watching a fast moving stock, which you shouldn't be trading. Or two, you got your defaults wrong. That's the only reason why you're making that mistake. Now let's go back to Uber. Okay. A couple of questions here. Steve says, can TotalView be integrated to Thinkorswim? No, it can't. Okay. You're going to have as a separate system. The cost of level 4, Gene, don't worry about that right now. You know what's going to cost you? $9. Does that sound like a lot? You could afford $9? Could anyone afford $9 right now? Does $9 sound like a lot to get this data? I think everybody could afford it. Great. So don't go anywhere. Okay. So let's go back to Uber. Okay. So looking at Uber, and remember that big seller we saw there at 219,000 shares and that other seller 69,000. Well, guess what? Uber actually went higher. How's that possible? Oh, it's very possible. You know why it's possible? Because somebody went out there and bought those shares. See what I'm saying? Like, just because there's a big block order out there, I'm not trying to contradict what I'm saying, but look how much that stock jumped from 51 to 53 like that. Because that buyer, that seller right there was holding up the stock for about 2.5 hours. But you know what? There are people out there that be like, you know what? There might be a mutual fund or a hedge fund. You know what? I like Uber. Just buy the 200,000. We need to put it in our inventory. And guess what? If I saw that getting done, I'm all in. I'm all in. Let me see if I can show you something really quick here. Hold on one second. Some of you guys were asking me about level 4. Okay. So let me just bring this up over here for you. Okay. You want to talk about a good platform? This is level 4. You see this little red line right here? Look right here on the right. We're looking at bingo. There is literally a 700,000 share seller out there. There's more than that, actually, probably close to 1 million shares looking to be sold right around that $3 price. So when you're looking at a stock that hits a support level here at $2, executes a big seller out there at $2.50 and goes to the next biggest seller, that's the reason why. And guess what? This system tells you how long he's been out there and is he getting executed or is he not getting executed? This is all real time. So when you're looking at the raw data and then I start implementing a software program to it, you're going to really flip off your chair. You're going to fall. You're going to be like, how did no one ever tell me about this? Well, guess what? If you didn't do your homework, you probably would have never found us. Because CyberTrading University doesn't advertise. We don't have to. And the reason why you probably found us is because whoever taught you probably thought and said, you know what, there's got to be another way. There's got to be someone out there that knows what he's talking about. So I'm glad you guys made it. All right. Now, let's get right into it because we're running out of time. And I know some of you, lunch is over, depending on where you are. So I want to get everybody registered. I want to answer a couple of questions at the end. But let me explain something to you. You don't have to make a lot of money in trading. CyberTrading University, we're not braggers. Okay. I don't like braggers. I mean, to me, that's like throwing in your face. Hey, look at the car I drive. Hey, look, I made 15,000. How do you going to feel you're going to compete against somebody that makes that much money, even if they said they made it? Okay. So how are you going to compete with them? Here at CyberTrading University, we don't talk about money. We talk about points. So if you're a 100 share trader or you're a 10,000 share trader, we're all out there to make the same amount of points. So we don't feel discouraged, but you don't have to make a lot of money to make a very successful career. Don't be a pig because Social Security is not going to be paying us enough. We can't live off our pension. COVID put a lot of us in trouble. And if you really think that $600 is going to save some people's lives, give me a break. Please don't give it to me. Because I think they want to give $2,000 and they said, but we want to make sure it's going to the right people. Absolutely. Please make sure you do your homework because I don't need it. Give it to the people that need it. But for people like you, you don't need it either. because you can make it doing this, but you got to know how to play the game and you got to be patient. But if you're one of those people that think, oh, you know what, I want this, I want that entitlement, I just don't believe in entitlement. I believe in hard work. And I believe, going out there and making your days pay, because you know what? If you're worried about that, that's it. It's a done story. It's over. Then what? How are you going to go to that next level? You can't. So please keep in mind, traders, that every single one of you are going to need to learn from more than one mentor. If you took training, great. You're going to learn something new from everyone you speak to. So you might have to do a couple of them. You might take my class and might take somebody else's. You got to make sure you're the right fit. But you should learn a little bit of all the different markets. Okay. So please don't get sold on, oh, I got to do futures. I was taught. Listen, if you're not making money within 30 to 60 days, maybe it's just not for you. Maybe it's just too risky. Just because you have a good tax situation with that doesn't mean you're going to make money on it. I like to trade the stock market for one reason. When I turn on the TV, 95% of what they talk about is about the stock market. Okay. They don't talk about Forex. Very rarely talk about Forex. Okay. Actually, I think the first thing is stock market. The second thing is the cryptocurrency now. The third thing is probably options. I don't know where futures and Forex come into that play. Probably like the bottom 2%. But, you hear it all day long. So trade things that most people trade. It makes things easier. Because if you know how to play the game, you'll be able to spend more time with your family, do the things you always want to do in life. And it really is a good job, especially with COVID, being stuck at home, not knowing where your next job is going to be. You know what? You found your next job. Trading is really a great job. It's a great career. You don't got to go anywhere. You're confined. Why not do it? But you got to learn before you could earn. And the only way you're going to learn is you have to learn how to stop losing money first. That's the big thing. So to end our presentation, ladies and gentlemen, make sure I get everybody here registered. Just to let you know, just to do a quick recap, CyberTrading University is being endorsed by more brokerage firms than any school in the industry. Believe me, these guys do credit checks on us, background checks. If you've done your homework, you could see that there's some pretty bad actors out there. The way you know you're dealing with a reputable company is that they should be endorsed by brokerage firms. And we're very proud to do that. We have a 5-star rating on Google and we have a AAA rating on a Better Business Bureau. You can't beat that. Okay. So if they're doing their job, guess what? Then you know you're dealing with a reputable company. And that's very, very important. So this is what I want to do. I want to invite every one of you in my trading room. Okay. And we started the first one. You're seeing a lot of trading rooms out there right now. Guess what? Where's the original? Right here, right now. And you're going to see it. Those chat rooms that you see out there, a lot of them are actually our students. A lot of them are actually our instructors. And hopefully one day, maybe you could go out there and build your own room, because you will outgrow CTU. But you know what? It's okay to take a step back. Okay. It's okay to start to be, don't think that because you spent all this money with somebody else that you want to take a step back. Trust me, on one day in that trading room, you're going to realize that you've been trading blind this whole time. And by the way, we start at 8 o'clock in the morning and we're done at 4:15 right after hours. But I only trade about an hour a day. I trade the first hour. I'm pretty much done. That's why I have the time to do this event with you. All right. Now, this is what I'm asking for. $9. Remember I told you $9? $9. And this is what you're going to get. You're going to get access to the original trading room, our cyber group trading room. You're going to get 3 daily market meetings. You're going to get a morning and afternoon watch list. You're going to get your own personal education advisor. Yes, you're going to be able to talk to somebody, not, for $9. Yeah. And not some, call center in another state or another country. You're going to talk to the staff at CTU here at headquarters here in New York. You're going to get a live Q&A trading session, and you're going to get a crash course on day trading, all for a lousy, stinking $9. And guess what? If you're not happy, I'll give you $9 back at the end of the week. Listen, I don't need your $9. This $9, believe it or not, is just an application to see if you qualify to be part of our team. And don't be discouraged. But about 70 to 80% of you that pay $9 are not going to continue with CTU because you're not going to qualify. And that's okay. You know, I mean, listen, I have kids going to college. I got one now. I got one that's on his way. He got rejected, you know, on certain schools, and he got in other schools because he didn't have the qualifications. You know what? It only made him stronger, but it made him understand that, you know what? We'd rather reject you because we don't want you to lose money in trading, but you won't know that until you try it. So when you fill out this question, when you buy this $9 trial, the link is up there right now. And then for the $9, you're going to have a questionnaire. Now, please, part of it, you have to fill out that questionnaire at your best of your knowledge. Let us know. Have you been trained? Who you have a brokerage account with? We want to make sure that we know how to gear you in the right way. So fill out that questionnaire when you pay that $9. Now, as a bonus, if you register right now, and there's a few hundred people in here right now, the first 20 people that register, I will personally give you a free coaching class. Me personally, on the phone. Yeah, me. Why? Because I want to make sure you're a right fit. Okay. I'm not a sales guy. I'm not looking to sell you. Okay. You might not, I want to make sure that you and I are the right fit. Listen, anyone here ever have surgery before? Do you just go into surgery without meeting the doctor? You ever get rejected from a doctor that says, you know what? I know this hurts you, but you really don't need the surgery. I'll make the money, but a good doctor would tell you, you know what? You really don't need it. I could probably make 10, 20,000 on this job, from the insurance company, but you know what? For your sake, you might not need it. Because you know what? Because if I did do the job and I hurt you, probably going to get in trouble for it. Do I need that? No. So go out there, see the people we trained, how they make money, and then judge us not on our winners, but judge us on our losers. Now, a couple of questions coming across here. I'm going to make a couple of shout outs because I got a couple of people here registering already. Wow, you're pretty fast right here. Who do we got here? We got Barbara from Eastern Connecticut. All right, you're right around the corner. We got Andy from Chicago, New York, Chicago, Illinois. Welcome aboard. Couple of questions. Gregory has a question. Is level 3, level 4 available for E-mini futures? It actually is available for futures. Level 4 is not level 3. Okay. Anybody else? Any other questions? When can the question, I think we already answered that. One person said, what about the holidays with New Year's? Listen, you start immediately. You're going to watch the videos. Any days that you miss, we're going to make it up we'll make it. So if you want to extend it, if you feel like you missed a day or two, believe me, but trust me, it's $9. You don't need a week. You need one day, one lousy stinking day in there, and you're going to freak out. You're going to see things like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing. I could think for myself. I could trade for myself. I could trade with people like me. I don't have to depend on Fausto to tell me what to do, what to look at, because you can't do that. That's illegal. Okay. And hopefully some of you did your homework, already learned that. But these are the things that you're going to get. All right. So register now, get ready, and then you'll be able to start, maybe start on Monday. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. But if you could start tomorrow, start tomorrow. Can I use level 3 on TradeStation? Yes, you can. It's actually called, Michael, the Matrix, which is a pretty good system. And we use it. We actually showcase the TradeStation platform in our trading room. So guess what? If you have TradeStation, congratulations. It's going to make it even easier transition for you to get in because that's the one we showcase. A couple of more people just registering. Just do a couple of shout outs here. Want to thank, who else we got in here? We got Venkata from Ontario, Canada. Sorry if I mangled it. I got to, listen, we have 20% of the traders in the room are from Canada. I've been to Canada for over 20 years. You're going to make some great traders in there. Who else we got here? Just registered. Just do a couple of trades, couple of shout outs here. Oops, missed that one. Tim from Nevada, Henderson, just got your registration. Congratulations. Just reading these off. What else we got here? Sarah M. from Washington State. Gregory from Texas, just got your registration. What else we got here? Niven from British Columbia, Canada. Wow, a few Canadians. Great. Any other questions? Can we use it on NinjaTrader? So you can use NinjaTrader. I mean, we're endorsed by NinjaTrader. By the way, they don't endorse in too many schools out there, believe it or not. They used to a long time ago. They eliminated about 95% of them. Very, very strict company when it comes to regulation with them. But you can use NinjaTrader. You're gonna have to use the NASDAQ exchange on a separate. They don't have an ECN implemented into their platform. They're really more geared towards futures and options. So, but you could still trade a stock on there, and we'll show you that when you're in a trading room. You'll see as that happens. Interactive Broker does offer level 3 data. Basically answer one of the other questions I came across here. Anyone? What else is there? How would I start? Okay, so when you register, every one of you are going to get access to our portal page. You're going to see there's going to be an education advisor linked to it. He's going to do a quick little walkthrough with you. Listen, we don't want you to go into a room and just like, okay, what am I? Okay, what am I doing? You know what I mean? You don't want to go in there blind. So we're going to do a nice little walkthrough. And the big thing that we're very well known for is I take customer service very seriously, okay? Because we don't want to get you into something and you're just out with the wolves, all right? So you're going to see we have great customer service, everything, and it all for $9. That's what it all comes down to it. What else we got going on here? All right, we got a couple more registrations coming in here. What about Thinkorswim for level 3? Once again, Matthew, I've done education for Thinkorswim for many, many years. If you actually go on their archives, you'll see a bunch of videos that I've done with Tom Sosnoff, the founder of Thinkorswim. Now you own Tastyworks. But it's a great platform, but it does not have level 3. You're just going to have to use a second. You're probably just going to have to do the same thing about NinjaTrader. We'll show you in the trading room how you can get it and use it. But listen, I don't want you to go to NASDAQ Trader and buy it. Please. You're going to do more harm than it's good. Why pay $15 when you could pay $9, right? So let me show you first, and then you can go buy it later because you might not need it. Remember, trading is not for everybody. All right, so let me show you how to play the game before it goes. By the way, if you're hearing that ding going on in the background, those are all the people that are buying, paying that $9 trial. What do we got over here going here? Just a couple of people. I want to do a couple of shout outs. Meta Pete from British Columbia, another Canadian. Wow, you see, I told you, got a lot of Canadians. You guys are going to love the market here. Rope from Ontario, Canada. There we go, another Canadian. Wow, it's probably there's a lot of Canadians that we got in our event. Gary Wright from Vero Beach, Florida, just got your registration. Who else we got here? Pat from Iowa, just got your registration. All right, what questions we got here? What comes after the $9 trial? How much? Okay, so Victor, if you want to continue after the 7 days, it's $149 a month. And by the way, if you don't want to continue, don't worry about it. I don't need the scrutiny. You just see, I don't want to continue. We won't charge you, whatever it is. Just send us an email. We'll cancel you out immediately. All right, so don't worry about that. Okay, but if you want to continue, you can continue. If not, after 7 days, you don't have to. All right. Robert, I'll be registering. My father's health is poor and take much of my father's time right now. I'm looking forward to sitting in the room. Well, Robert, listen, your father's everything. I lost my mom and dad not too long ago, about a year, less than 2 years ago. So please, I know life gets in the way. Family's always most important. Okay. But the thing about this, let me just tell you, as what I've learned over the years, I know there's a lot of people that are physically challenged, people that just, life gets in the way, taking care of your dad, whatever it is. Well, guess what? You don't got to go anywhere. You could just sit here at your home and also do it on your, on your computer right next side by them. So you can go back and forth. That's what's great about this job. Look at COVID. You know what I mean? You don't have to, like in the old days, like me, I had to go, take a train to the city and take about an hour and a half of my life being stuck on a damn train. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that anymore. So that's the beauty. That's the beauty about what we do. That's why a lot of people like trading the market, because you don't have to get licensed like you used to, like I did, but you do need the proper education. You're more than welcome. All right. Let me see. I got a couple of other more shout outs right here going on. Who else we got here? I think we're almost done to 20, by the way. By the way, if you're not to 20, that's okay, because you'll still be able to talk to one of the instructors. So please, I can't take every phone call. I only have X amount of hours. Alan from Tampa Bay, Florida, just got your registration. Who else we got here? Herman, just got your registration from, I forgot to tell you where you're from. Nobody from Europe yet. Shocking. Oceanside, California. We got an Oceanside here on Long Island, actually, if you don't know that. Ebert from Queens. You're right around Elmhurst, Queens. All right. There you go. You live right around the block from us. What else we got going on? I can't even keep up with these. All right. So what I was going to say. So listen, trading is all about following the money. That's what it comes down to. It's just following the money. You follow the money. You learn what the market makers use. It just makes your life easier. Listen, I was a market maker. That's what I did. You know, actually, I got into consultations. A lot of brokerage firms don't like me what I tell you, but you know what? They understand. You know what? What do you need? What do you need a broker? You could do it yourself. You know what I mean? Like, why go out there and having the wrong tools? It's time to start taking matters in your own hands. But you got to know how to play the game. And you know what? We're going to 2021. Let's make a deal. Do the trial. Well, what's the whole thing about New Year's Eve anyway? You could start all over again, right? Isn't that the whole thing about New Year's Eve? They always say, you know, 12 o'clock bell rings. It's a new year. You could start you could start a whole new year. Well, guess what? Why don't you go out there, do the $9 trial? Do the $9 trial. Let's start fresh going into the new year. The worst thing that could happen is that you learn something, you find out it's not for you. But don't make that mistake that most people do. 99% of today's people are self-taught. And that's the people we actually want to compete against, unfortunately. Because I don't get paid to lose, I get paid to win. It's a sport. We might be friends across, going out to dinner, but when we're on the field, I get paid to win. And that's what you want. But you got to know how to play today's games. All right. IH is from Northwest England. I didn't see you register. Did you register yet? IH, I didn't see that. All right. All right, guys. So listen, sorry about going a little bit late over our time, but listen, thank you for being here. I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy new year. And hopefully this will be your new year resolution of joining CyberTrading University. So we're looking forward to it. And also what I wanted to mention, with that said, don't go anywhere because we're going to play a quick video of us on NASDAQ showing you a little bit more about Total View. So while you guys are registering and enjoying it, don't go anywhere. Don't log out. Just for about less than 10 minutes, we'll play a quick little video. Watch the last episode that I had before they shut down the NASDAQ Center, because this was the beginning of COVID, okay? And you're going to love this one. So we'll play that video, and I'll just give you a little more confident who your mentor is and what we do and what we preach. And remember, NASDAQ would never have me go on there if he thought that we were teaching people how to lose money. They want you to learn to use this platform. So go out there and learn to do it right. So go out there, do the trial. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back. Watch the video. And I look forward to seeing every single one of you after the new year in the trading room. Thanks for registering. See you in a little bit.
Welcome to NASDAQ Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ. Joining me at the market site in Times Square, New York City, we have Fausto Pugliese. He's the founder and president of CyberTrading University. We're going to take a look at how traders are using Total View. And Fausto, it could not be a better time to have you in with us at Marketplace, because with everything going on, the volatility we've seen in the market since you were with us in the middle of February last time.
That was pretty crazy.
Traders are asking themselves, what's the bottom, what's the top? But as a day trader, you can kind of get an inside look when you're looking at a single stock.
Yeah, what it is, Jill, is that, thanks for having me again. And yes, when it comes to day trading, people realize that what happens over the course of the day, which trickles down to a swing trade and to a long-term investment. And my phone's been blowing up. People could ask me, Fausto, is this the bottom? Is this the bottom? Because we're looking at the market all day. And honestly, this is how you really know when it's the bottom. When you have the worst of the worst of the worst news and just constantly all negative stuff, and the market's not going any lower, that's when you know it's time to buy. So as you see, like, a lot of bad news keeps coming up, and then obviously you saw what happened yesterday when they lowered the Fed rate by a half. It took for a big decline, and all of a sudden the market's up with about almost like 900 points so far. So, and there's still a lot of bad news that's coming out with the coronavirus and everything else, but that's really when you know when you hit the bottom. So for some of the listeners out there that really missed the boat when the market had a big rally. You almost hit 30,000. You know, these are the opportunities. You know, honestly, it is like the same thing I saw back in 2008 when we had the financial crisis. So once you start seeing all the bad news, things start backing up, start going up.
All right, let's take a look at our example here today. We're going to look at ticker symbol MRNA, NASDAQ listed, of course. What are we looking at? Where's the levels that you're looking to sell?
Okay, so listen, what is mRNA? You know, I keep bringing up stocks, and people are like, what is this company do? It doesn't matter. We're just here to make money. The main goal about Total View is you have to understand how it works, how to know where the buyers and sellers are. It's all about supply and demand. That's why it's such a great tool. So we're looking at a chart right here, and we're looking at the stock right here, and the first thing people notice is like the stock's going up beautifully. Nice. Look at the stock. Started this morning. It's at 25.80. It's at 28. Is it going higher? Now the goal is, why does the stock keep breaking out? It hits a resistance, it comes back down. It breaks the previous resistance, keeps going up. How do you know it's going to keep breaking higher highs? And what we're going to do this time is we're going to bring a video so you all can see exactly what it's like to see in the real market conditions.
All right, so let's move along to our next slide here. That's exactly what we're doing. Let's take a look at Total View. I'm going to let you take the reins. Tell us what's happening here.
Okay, so we got like a little minute video here. So we're looking at some real time. The key here is time and sales. These are the transactions that are taking place. We're looking at level 2. Level 2 is basically people get for free, but it doesn't give you the depth of data as Total View does. Now, the key here is that you don't see that many sellers out there. You're just seeing the best bid and best offer of that exchange. But you'll notice how the stock keeps going higher. What we need to focus on is where you see the big sellers. And you're looking for big orders. You got 51 different orders out there, right around 28. Things are going so quickly, I try to slow it down. So right around $28.50. So that is really your resistance level. So when you're looking at a stock going out, going higher, you're going to say, is the stock going to break out? So you see it's coming up to this guy right here really quickly. You see it's coming up. It's coming up to this person right here. So 70,000 shares, 5,000 shares. So it's going to come up to that seller. Now the goal is this: is that guy going to get executed? Remember, you have 100 share sellers, 300 shares, 1,000, but you have a big order out there. You want to see if that guy gets executed, and you want to see if that's how it breaks out. Remember, what makes support and resistance levels is buyers and sellers, so you got a seller out there. So we're coming up to that seller right here. Now the goal is to look right here and see if that seller gets executed. And you see it's coming up to the seller, and boom, the guy gets taken out. It's actually executing it. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. See all those transactions? It took the guy out. Now look how fast the stock goes up. From 250, we're at 260, 270, 280, boom, like that, as quickly as that. That's why it's so important to know where the orders are, know where the resistance, and see if the guy gets taken out. Now, when we get to the next slide, look at it. We're already at 2880.
Yep, and you can see these 35,000
Which
orders.
is, exactly. Now, this is the next order. Now, the next question is, here's the next biggest resistance. There's 33,000 shares. There's 100 different orders out there. Now, then that's where the next resistance level is. So the goal is, you hit a resistance, where's the next resistance? The next resistance is the next biggest seller. So now we're coming up to him, and we're going to see what's going to happen when he gets to 29.
Yeah, I mean, it happens so fast.
Well, also, this is about a 5-minute video that I was able to capture when we traded this stock, and I kind of speeded it up over about a minute, so it doesn't move as quickly. Boom, we hit 29, the guy got taken out again, and look at the stock just took off again. And the thing I want to explain to you, Jill, is that, and your listeners have to understand, is that when you have a big seller out there and that guy gets taken out, that is a very big demand. Someone says, oh, wow, I'll take that 30,000 shares, and that's why you get the stock that really, really starts to take off. Now, the next thing is that you're going to get some resistance levels. It's going to start backing off. There's always profit taking going on, right?
Of course.
So when you have profit taking going on, you could see profit taking going on, but the question is it really a profit taking, or is it just people or is it really going to go lower? In this case, it's not. Seller got done. Remember, we just watched the stock go from 28 to 29. Now look at it. We're at 29.50 already. Stock just keeps going higher and higher because those sellers are getting executed. As those sellers get executed, that means there's a demand for it. When you see big block orders out there, it makes a bigger demand, and that makes it higher. Now, the next resistance level, obviously, is going to be where we have to focus on, where the next biggest orders are. So we got some, I think we freeze, right? We're done?
Nope,
Almost.
we have a little bit more to go here.
We slow down over here. Yep, we're done. So the next video we're going to show.
You can actually go to our slide here, so this is where you're looking at those levels.
Right, so we're looking at the seller. So we have a 67,000 share seller at 28. So now we have to look what we call iceberg orders.
What does that mean?
Okay. So it's a funny story. So I came up with this word about 20 years ago after watching the movie The Titanic. Okay. If you watch that movie, very sad movie. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, what happened to Titanic? It hit an iceberg, and the thing is, everybody was focused on the pretty of the ship and above the water. They didn't realize it's not what's above the water; it's at the bottom of the water. Icebergs are really big, so what happened? It crashed and it sunk. So what we're looking for is big iceberg orders, which we call, some people call them big block orders, but when you see a big order, it's called an iceberg order. So now we're looking at a 2890, and we're looking for a resistance. Once again, stock's going higher. We need to focus on the next resistance level.
All right, and which is on the next chart here. If we take a look, yep.
So here's just a quick little screenshot. So as we're looking at it, you see, it's a lot easier when you're focusing on, when you're just looking at the level, the total view, and it's easy to point it out. Now, please keep in mind, your listeners have to understand, we're fast forwarding this pretty quickly to get to the point. It doesn't move this quickly. But I'm showing right here is just a quick screenshot. What we're focusing on is this big order right here for 73,000 shares, and there's 315 different orders out there making up that 73,000. Now, the thing I just want to point out is, I just want to teach everyone a quick little lesson.
Yeah.
Don't ever sell anything at $30. Go out at $29.99. You just cut the line by.
So that's for anything that's at an even number.
Biggest trick I was taught by my mentors when I was younger. Listen, everybody's going to think 30. Everybody's going to think 20. Go out $21.99. You just cut the line by 73,000 shares. So it's a very good.
It's like selling a house or buying a house. It's like those incremental psychological levels.
Well, if you remember, if you look at it, the stock has a penny intervals. And so that's a little tip. But the thing is, let's focus on what happens to the 30. You know, just right off the bat, you know that's a major resistance levels, and that's what we have to focus on. That's for the stock to go any higher, it's got to get through that 73,000 share seller on total view.
All right, well, let's take a look at that next side. See what happens next. Now we're going to get the other piece of the trade.
Okay, so here we're looking at the stock moving. Here's 29.45, 29.48, 62, 67. So the sellers are getting executed. You can see the transactions taking place, but we know that there's that guy sitting right here. And now his order's coming up. Look, he's starting making up the ranking. It's getting up to 30. It's getting close to him. So let's watch what happens. 74, 70. Look at the transactions taking place. It's trying to get there. And by the way, those orders, they're all real. People think like they're fake. Those are real orders. Can a guy cancel it? Of course they can cancel it. But that you have to take very seriously, and that's a real order out there. So now as we're looking at it, and as it's trading, it's trying to get there. Actually, it kind of almost tested it. You see that right there?
Yeah.
See that candle right there? It's hit it, and now it's starting to back off a little. Now you're starting to see the red candlesticks. So now it means that the last sale is lower than the previous.
And this works for all kinds of stocks. ETFs, would it work for ETFs also?
ETFs, futures, options, it works the same way. Remember, it's the movement of the stock that makes all those other things. Yes,
right.
ETFs and everything else. You could look up any ETF, and it'll come up on total view. Look, now we're down to 29.
Yep.
So my point that I'm getting to is this. If you didn't have a game plan, Jill, and didn't know that seller was out there, and you try to
And actually, if we go to the next slide, this is exactly what you were talking about. There's your level right there.
If you didn't have a game plan and knew that seller was out there, and look at that candle, that stock literally moved. Look how fast it moved in that one bar chart. If you didn't have a game plan to get out there before that guy was out there, and if you didn't what we call shaving, if you didn't shave just before that 30 and cut that line, guess what? You would just look how much money you would have lost. That stock didn't even drop from 30. Look where it went to. 27.30. You would have got crushed on that trade. Because what happens, if that seller's out there and he's not getting executed, he really had to sell that order, Jill, how is he going to get out? He's got to sell to the buyers. If he hits the bid, he's running that stock down, not you and I. Remember, we're not trading 74,000. Someone else is, and it's not one person. We saw it. It was like there was several people out there doing it. And that's how you got to focus on using the total view when you trade in today's volatile markets.
All right. So cool to actually watch it happen in real time. Thanks so much for doing that for us, Fausto. And thank you for joining me on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at NASDAQ.